Hello, Brian from
The Void.
Brian here, and I saw Old, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, and it f***ing sucked. Let's talk about it. Probably the most infamous example of a promising director nosediving just as his career seemed to take off. Shyamalan has not made a good movie in 22 years. His career downfall is almost as old as I am. Every single one of his movies since The Sixth Sense have similar problems. I despise his cutesy, awkward verbosity in every one of his characters, especially given how super seriously he takes everything in his stories. He seems like a director who has no sense of humor about himself, which is why I can't even enjoy his movies ironically. It's true the best bad movies come from people who don't realize that's what they've made, but Shyamalan movies all have a lack of humility that screams, I'm not crazy, I'm just transcending common sense, which is just not funny to me. Far as I care, it's him, Zack Snyder, and Eli Roth in this horrible Bermuda Triangle of directors, swallowing quality and potential never to be seen again. If there's something M. Night does right every time, it's how each of his films fits snugly into his catalog. Every new film he makes feels right at home with the others, and that's certainly true for Old. There's a joke somewhere in that title about how tired Shyamalan's presence is in the film world. Much like the actors in this film, Shyamalan's career is getting old fast, woo! Immediately in this film, before the characters arrive at the titular beach that makes you old, it was clear I was not going to enjoy this at all. The film opens with characters arriving at this resort, and it's so telegraphed things aren't what they seem. Like there's a bunch of incredibly conspicuous stuff happening before they get to the beach that's all, I wonder if that'll come back into play later. Like Shyamalan's obsession with twists folded in on itself a good decade ago, but he still keeps trying because, like, it's all he has left. All of the acting was garbage, as usual for M. Night, and after all this time, I know it's always his fault. He pulls in actors who can more than work with what they're given in other films, and like clockwork, they all embody the same clumsily restrained, empty behind the eyes haze. Whatever low-hanging fruit comparison you want to make, they sound like robots, or aliens, or some kind of foreign interdimensional being who's never seen a human before. Fill in the blank. This is a choose-your-own-adventure joke. I am tired of this shit. I am tired of getting performances that could have only resulted from him saying, yeah, you know, let's do another take, but this time be more stilted and awkward. Give less of a shit about what's happening around you. When a character is supposed to be feeling a certain emotion, I expect the actor to perform that emotion in a way that is identifiable to me as a human being, or it will be impossible for me to take anything happening seriously. Me, right? I guess that's too much to ask. A guy's wife has a seizure and he reacts to it like Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka.
Help. Police. Murder.
Vicky Krieps was in fucking Phantom Thread and plays this role like someone who learned how to talk a week ago.
There's something wrong with this speech.
One thing that was exceptionally bad compared to M. Night's other films was the cinematography. Not only is it extremely abundant in obtrusive close-ups, shaky cam footage, and poor framing, but the motion blur was off the charts in this film. Like, holy shit, the camera would move an inch to the side and I had cataracts all of a sudden. Whoever put that motion blur in there, I hope a plane crashes into your house. I swear on my life, one shot was like playing Team Fortress 2 with the mouse sensitivity turned up. The gimmick of this film is definitely one that'll stick in people's heads, but if you think about how it's implemented for just a second, it makes no sense. The beach makes you age really fast, and the film clarifies the cells in your body age faster, so does it age your brain? It should. The old racist doctor guy goes senile, but Thomasin McKenzie and Alex Wolff were both clearly directed to act like children in older bodies. The child performances were bad enough, but M. Night somehow got bad child performances out of actors who are not children. No spoilers right now, but at one point the film implies like 5 months transpire over roughly 2 minutes. Do the math and they should be aging 100 years every 8 hours. They find some silverware completely rusted that was left by people who were at the beach yesterday, but one character has their own knife that never rusts even a little over a somewhat comparable amount of time, and the film goes out of its way to show that the knives left there rusted and the other hasn't. Why is M. Night jerking himself off with the human condition symbolism of this premise when it doesn't make any sense? I'm gonna spoil one thing that really pissed me off real quick. Here's the time code for when I'm done. Here goes. Like I said, while some specifics might have been withheld, it's generally obvious where the twist is headed. Turns out the beach is being used by some kind of secret medical organization testing medicine's lifelong effects over a day rather than the decades that would usually take, which is telegraphed and stupid, but fine. The minerals in this giant cliff face accelerate aging because of radiation or something, which is strange and illogical for many reasons I'd be willing to ignore. Is this the only place on Earth with this mineral? Why haven't the troop of deaths all coincidentally happening at this resort been investigated, or at least the topic of a Wendigoon video? Anyway, they find out their bodies have all acclimated to the radiation and can't immediately leave the beach quickly or else they'll pass out, comparing it to water pressure on your body. Mackenzie and Wolf think, hey, we'll just make a tube of resistant material and get out with it protecting us. Wouldn't you know, there's a cave in the water lined with coral that resists the radiation. How convenient. And it leads from inside the beach's radiation to outside the radiation. But wait, that doesn't make any sense! If the problem was you can't escape because you're leaving the radiation too quickly, then how is a protective tube that will cut off your exposure immediately by getting inside any better? You'd just pass out again, right? And even if this worked and there was a connecting tube that let participants in this experiment escape, which the ending confirms this organization does not want this to happen, you're telling me this scientific research facility lacks the resources to simply block the exit to the cave? Come on, just block the cave, you idiots! Anyway, yeah, it was impossible to take anything in this movie seriously. Every performance was embarrassing. It looked like shit. The dialogue was unnatural and awkward. The plot contorts itself in the name of getting the point across. It was cringy. It was embarrassing. It was wholly ineffective in getting me to feel anything it wanted me to feel. It was an M. Night Shyamalan movie through and through. I don't know what I was expecting. And I'm giving Old a 2 out of 10. I really need some good movies to come out. Like between this, Space Jam, and like most of the other movies I've reviewed this summer, I need some good stuff to come out already. Anyway, did you like this movie more than me, less than me? Well, if you care to, please tell me. And anyway, if you like not only words, but the way I arrange and then say them, please consider giving this video a like, helping me out with the algorithm, and subscribing to this channel. Brian from the channel Brian. Thank you, and goodbye.